Find an equation of a line given 2 points. Now, when we're writing an equation of a line, we can start basically two different ways. We have point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You got to know what these pieces mean. Well, x and y represent any point on the line, and they're going to stay in the equation, whereas x1, y1 is a specific point, so a point we are given. We know that point is on the line. The x and the y without the sub ones, those represent the entire line, any point. Okay, and then m, as we know, is the slope. So we need 1 point and 1 slope to write that equation. That's why it's called point slope form. Now with slope-intercept form, that is y equals mx plus b. So you'll notice again we have an x and a y that represent all the points on the line. We will keep that as x and y. We also notice we still have the m marking our slope, and then we also have b, which is our y-intercept. So if we are given the slope and the y-intercept, we can jump straight to slope-intercept form. However, if we don't have the slope and the y-intercept, we will start in point slope form. Let's do two examples. Write an equation in slope-intercept form through the points 6, 3, and 2, 1. Well, our first step is to find the slope. And hopefully we remember that slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, don't let these little numbers fool you or cause you problems. They simply mean x2 and y2 are one ordered pair. x1, y1 are an ordered pair. So the ordered pairs are going to be stacked on top of each other. Important piece, the y values are on top. So let's plug in what we know. I'm going to start with my first y value. So I have 3 minus 1 all over 6 minus 2. So again, you'll notice 6, 3, the ordered pair stacked, and 2, 1 stacked with the y values on top. Now let's simplify. 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. Let's reduce that fraction for 1/2. So I know that my slope is 1/2. Now we are ready, because we have points and slope, we are ready to start in point slope form. Again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We only need 1 point to go along with our slope. It doesn't matter which point you use, you will get the exact same answer. I try to use small positive numbers because the math is just easier with small numbers. Let's plug in what we know. Remember, the y without the sub 1 stays the same, and then I subtract my y value, which is 1. My slope is 1/2, x stays the same, minus my x value, which is 2. Once I have this, we are now in point slope form, and I want to change to slope-intercept, which simply means get y by itself. Well, our first step in going to slope-intercept form is to distribute the 1/2. We've got to get rid of our parentheses. So I'm still going to have y minus 1 on the left, but when I distribute the 1/2, I get 1/2 times x is 1/2 x, and then 1/2 times negative 2, so minus sign and a negative are the same. The 2's will reduce, and I'm just left with negative 1. So 1/2 times negative 2 is negative 1. Now, to get y by itself, I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and y equals 1/2 x, because the 1's on both sides cancel out. Let's do another one with negative numbers. So write an equation slope-intercept form through the points -4, 1 and -2, -5. Again, we are going to start with the slope. So I'm going to take y minus y1 over x minus x1, right? So x1 minus x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. You'll notice that I said minus, and then we have negatives. So when you subtract a negative, 2 negatives is a positive. So this is the same as 1 plus 5 over -4 plus 2. So let's go ahead and simplify that. 1 plus 5 is 6. -4 plus 2 is -2. And 6 over negative 2 simplifies to negative 3. So now I am ready to jump in to point slope form. Again, we just need to pick one of our points. I'm going to pick negative 4, 1 because it has a positive in it, right? Again, I try to stick to positives if possible. So my y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. If you struggle remembering equations, I highly recommend you write it down in form first, because the more you write it, the more you're going to remember it. So let's plug in what we know. We have y minus, our y1 value is 1, our slope is negative 3, and then x minus our x value of negative 4. So once again, two negatives makes a positive. So this is the same as y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x plus 4. And now, in order to go to slope-intercept form, we need to get y by itself. So our first step is to distribute that negative 3. So y minus 1 equals negative 3x minus 12, because negative 3 times a positive 4 is a negative 12. And then our last step, we're going to add 1 to both sides. So y equals negative 3x minus 11. And now we are in slope-intercept form, and we've written the equation in the form asked.